Yeah, well, they'll actually be all ready for that party. It's beautiful in here. Of course, we are experiencing light in a whole new way, Sandy, here at Science World. This exhibit is really visually stimulating for people.
Absolutely. The whole premise is that we've combined art and science to explore light in a new and different kind of way.
And we've got one piece here called New York Eve.
Yes, this piece of art is created by Max Zorn. He's a European artist, and what he's done here is he's actually used tiny little pieces of packing tape, layers and layers upon packing tape, to basically build up the shading and the image that you see. So where it's dark, there's a ton of packing tape, and where it's lighter, there's just a couple layers of packing tape.
And to illustrate how it sort of is put together in just a very rudimentary way, you have something here that people can try.
Absolutely. Well, people love to play with light, so we've given them an opportunity to play around with the idea of transparent and translucent and opaque. So opaque things don't let the light through, like this guy or the button. And so using opaque things and a couple transparent things and some translucent things. And then here we've got some polarizing filters that do some really strange stuff when light passes through them. So we're allowing people to sort of play around with some of the ideas and make their own artwork. Not quite like Max Zorn, but a little bit similar, playing with some of the same ideas.
Something that's exciting for both adults and kids to be able to experience.
Absolutely. There's something here for everybody.
Absolutely. And you can check out Light of Science and Art, experiencing science and art here at Science World, as well as a potential to sleep here at Science World, a big slumber party happening on the 14th. For your chance to enter, you can go to comments at BT, or contest at btvancouver.ca. It's an early morning. Subject line, light. We got lots more here this morning, Jody and Riaz. Yeah, we are, again, illuminating science and art. And there's so many things, Sandy, that, don't necessarily translate on camera, but that they are so visually stimulating for people that make their way here.
Absolutely. We have a really, really interesting version of a 3D photograph called a phantogram, where you look through the standard red-green glasses, and you actually see the Empress Hotel rising up out of the bottom. But you can't give a camera 3D glasses, unfortunately.
So people just have to make their way here.
Absolutely. We've also got some really interesting animation illusions that are entirely made out of light, and some experiences where you can change the color of light shining on something and see how that affects the color that it appears. So some really neat stuff that just doesn't work with the camera.
But we're going to show people right now how science and light actually helps scientists.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, we know that we can see small things, perhaps using a microscope, but something really, really tiny like DNA, for example, is very hard to imagine what it looks like. So this sculpture by a local artist, he's also a graduate student who's studying DNA, and the technique he's using is similar to the technique that actually just won the Nobel Prize, where different proteins in DNA are coated with sort of glowing, some kind of glowing system, so that you can image the DNA. DNA was actually originally seen by bouncing X-rays off of it, and the woman that did that, Rosalind Franklin, actually created a picture of the reflection of DNA, which enabled the folks that determined the structure to figure it out. So what Adam Barlov has done here is to represent DNA as a series of dodecahedrons, which are in pairs. So it's not a faithful representation of DNA, but he's giving some idea of how DNA can be coated up with light.
Very cool. And hey, it's always educational here at Science World. By the way, you have a chance to win 4 tickets. Again, it's for adults and kids, so 2 adults, 2 kids, here at Science World, happening on November 14th. Drop us an email, contest at btvancouver.ca. Subject, DNA. And again, light is here at Science World, Michelle, until the 4th of January.
Very cool indeed.
And we're talking color mixing right now as we are illuminating science and art. And a lot of people, Sandy, we see that beautiful dome here at Science World, always illuminated so beautifully. And there's actually a bit of a science here to it.
There totally is. Inside each of our Science World dome lamps, as well as inside each one of these little lamps, are 3 colored LEDs, a red, a green, and a blue. And at this exhibit, you can change the color of the target here, and then you can attempt to match that color using by changing the amount of red, green, and blue using the sliders here to try and get the color match. So we're playing with the idea of combining colored lights to make a whole range of new colors. And that's exactly how the colors are produced in this piece of art here. This work is called Halo. It's by a local artist named Alex Beam and his group Tangible Interaction. And what you can do here is you can change the colors and the apparent motion of these circles of LEDs by using these fantastic controls here. So you're playing around with how your eye perceives perceives both color and how your eye sees different kinds of motion as well.
And when people make their way here to Light at Science World, there are a lot of interactive displays, right? And for the whole family.
There absolutely are. There's some things like this that are really easy for little kids to operate. There's some things that have a little bit more intellectual tickle for adults. We even have physicists come through here and get curious about what's going on. So yeah, lots for everybody to do.
Lots for everybody. And of course, Light is on here at Science World until January 4th. But on the 14th, a lot of fun. There's a slumber party.
Yeah.
And we've got your chance to win 4 tickets. So 2 adults, 2 kids is what's kind of preferred. And really, it's a ton of fun for the kids. If you want to enter to win, what you have to do is drop us an email, contest@btvancouver.ca, subject line,
Light.
Halo.
Halo.
I almost forgot. I was actually looking for you to try to remember. Jody and Riaz, it's the case of the Tuesdays here, right? So
Totally, but we'll take Light
Sandy
or
tried
Halo.
to save me.
We'll take either. Subject line Light or Halo.
We love Tuesdays. We love Tuesdays. And you love Fridays, by the way.
We're actually kind of using Light and also a way to, I guess, enhance our animation, right, Sandy?
Absolutely. We're making a little animated movie of a bug that hops up and down. And the way it works is we put, in each frame, we put a slightly different image. And one of the neat things about your eyes, even though the only thing your eyes can actually perceive is light, your brain does some really interesting things when you see different images rapidly one after the other, and it actually gives you an illusion of motion. So the zoetrope that we're playing around with here, we sort of get to make our own animation. The artwork that we're working with is called it's called Tumbling Through, and it's by the Drill Collective, another local group of artists. And they've animated a tumbleweed tumbling to sort of draw the connection between old movies and the symbolism in old movies, plus this very old technique of animation. So Dawn's been setting up our
How am I doing
our
here?
own animation.
How am I doing here?
Looking pretty good. We just got to get it in the inside of the zoetrope, and then we'll see if we spin it. Maybe we can see.
What does zoetrope actually mean?
Zoetrope, the word Zoe in there is like the name Zoe. It means life. And so it looks a little bit, if you look through the slits, it looks a little bit like our little bug is hopping up and down.
That is very cool. Just one of the many things people can catch when they make their way here, at least until January 4th. It is Science World Light, illuminating science and art. And now we have a chance for our viewers to win a slumber party, 2 adults, 2 kids, happening on November 14th. Drop us an email, contest@btvancouver.ca, subject zoetrope. And Jody and Riaz, we're not going to make people give us the definition in the contest, but feel free to drop us an email for your chance to win.